Hello, and welcome back to topic 2 of that practice test review. Topic 2 is about upper and lower bounds, as well as percent error. So in general, finding the upper and lower bounds for different units of measurement is that you look out to what is your last unit here, and then think about adding or subtracting the next place value down, half of that. So this is 14.3, so I would add or subtract 0.05, right? Because I have the tenths here, so I'm gonna add half the next unit down. So then this would be 14.25 is less than 14.3, which is less than or 14.35. Okay. This guy, my final place value is this hundredths place, so I'm going to add or subtract 0.005, right, the thousandths. So this would be 2.705 is less than or equal to 2.71 is less than or equal to 2.715. Okay. And then finding exact area. This is parallelogram. I know that because we have two sides that are equal and parallel to each other. So the exact area, just like we did on topic 1, if you want to, you can write down the area formula. You can show your work by plugging in those numbers. I think on your test it said use all decimals or 3 decimal places. That's important so that you have enough accuracy for when you do percent error down here. And of course, I found areas, so don't forget units. This is square meters. For upper bound area, it is very, very, very important. You do not go from this number. You go back to your original measurements, because those could have been as big as 6.25 for that height there. And this base here could have been as big as 6.75. That is what you use to recalculate. Okay, if I wrote recalc on your test corrections, okay, I mean, go back to these, recalculate your area using the upper bounds of your original dimensions that you were given. 6.25 times 6.75. And I'm going to keep all my decimals. And remember my units, meters squared. I feel like I need to write units off to the side here, just because, God, so many of us forgot them. Remember, units, okay. Percent error and upper bound between exact and upper bound area. Exact and then upper bound is going to be our approximate. You have this on your IB formula sheet, okay? So you can copy it down exactly if that helps you. I just don't have a lot of space, but so it is the error equals VA, which is your approximate, minus your exact value over your exact value, don't screw that up, times 100%, okay? So in this case, with this parallelogram, the approximate is 42.1875 minus 41.54, the exact, over 41.54, which is the exact, and then times 100. Oof. I'd want to see this set up. You can just put this in your calculator. The only thing I have to warn against is that if you're typing this out, you may want to use parentheses around here to indicate that all of this is divided by 41.54. Oh, Lord.
Sue Romas, could you please come back to the main office? Sue Romas, could you please come back to the main office? Thank you.
shout out to Sue Ramos for being a real one. Okay. Or I personally just like enter this first and then do answer and divide by 41.54. Like I do it in that step, but you could also do 41. You could just use the parentheses around it as well if you just want to hit enter once. Same thing, okay? And then while I'm in my calculator, I just do times 100 right there. Boom, okay? If you want to show that more step by step, you would have 0.01558738, right? Maybe I start using the approximate symbol because I am rounding now. Times 100. But then I think on your test also, sorry, I think it said 3 sig figs. So then when you do times 100, you have 1.55873, right? Like 3 sig figs is going to be the first 3 digits typically, and then 8 makes you round up. So my final answer here is 1.56. And then don't forget your little percent sign. Okay. Cool. Just as a side note, I saw a lot of people who they were getting like 0.0312 something something. And they counted the leading zero as a sig fig. Leading zeros are not significant. Okay. So this would have been 3 sig figs. I had some people do like 0.031%. That's only 2 sig figs because that leading zero doesn't count. Okay, this would be correct. Sabrina calculates the cost of a book as this. The actual price was this. Okay, if you see that word actual, exact, actual, exact. Actual is the exact. Okay, if some humans doing something, they're calculating something, they're weighing something, assume humans mess up and they're approximate, okay? So that would just be 50 minus 56 over 56 times 100. I can plug that out in my calculator, divide by 56. Oh, I get a negative answer here. Remember, these guys are the absolute value symbol, so they are going to make whatever I get negative into positive. So when I do times 100, it's negative 10.7. Okay, ignore the negative. It's positive now. I'm going to assume 3 sig figs again. Right, significant digits, non-zeros, and the 0 in between, so this is 3 sig figs. I didn't write that here, but there you go. And then circle my final answer. Okay, cool. So as your teacher, the work I would want to see probably on this page would be finding the areas and then of course writing down my final answer, finding the area, writing down the final answer, setting up the percent error here, with that 100, and then the final answer at least, setting it up, and then that final answer, okay? You can show me more work along the way if you want, but you don't have to. This, I might want you to show the point. I mean, if you put this down as your final answer, I think I'm probably good because you don't need to show that much work on those. Okay, and then let's look at the greatest mistakes. Not copying down the area formula exactly as it is on the IB sheet. Forgetting your units, okay, whether that be the percent or the units squared, okay? Percent or units squared, very important. And then not recalculating upper bound using the given measurements, okay? If you're given something, find the upper bound of that measurement and use that. And then the percentage error, and then as forgetting the percentage sign, that counts as part of your units, right? It's a percent. And then make sure when you're reading a word problem, read for keywords such as experimentally that tell you this is an estimate, okay? Versus reading actual for exact. In general, if someone is taking a measurement with a tool, this is likely going to be a little bit off due to human error or imperfect tools. Therefore, it's the estimate. Okay, so Miss Sabrina calculating the cost, or Mr. John calculating something with a balance, or someone weighing something with a balance, or someone using their thermometer, right? That's going to be their estimate versus the exact is like what it really actually should be. Okay, and with that, that's topic 2. Thanks for joining.